I'll play at least one set of Element Cup. We'll just swap out of here. 1, 2, 3. What in the world? What the heck is this? Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. We are closing in on the end of this GPL season, and we have Master League and Catch Cup. I don't have a lot of Master League Pokemon, but I do have 3 legendaries, and one of them I recently acquired. It was another Shundo Lugia. So if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen me post about it. I was like, you know what? I gotta run this. I mean, I only had 2 other legendaries. One was my Shundo Ho-Oh, and the other is a Dialga. Unfortunately, the Dialga is not Shundo, but I decided to run these 3 Pokemon, mostly because it was my only option. But the team actually turned out to be quite good. I climbed a ton with it. I had almost all positive sets, and on top of that, you gotta run 2 Shundos, so it doesn't get better than that. One important thing to note is that I do have my Dialga best buddied, because having a Dialga best buddy is really important for the mirror matchup and just in general as a closer. If you don't have that option, I would best buddy the Ho-Oh second, and then Lugia as the last option. Lugia is just really bulky and tanky in general. You don't really need the extra level on it compared to the other 2. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. Starting off here, we're going to see a Dialga lead, and the main thing is you're going to see a lot of Dialgas in general, so might as well showcase how to play that one out. So overall, this is a fairly positive matchup for Ho-Oh. However, if they double shield the Sacred Fires, it can definitely be a little bit annoying here too. And so I'm going to shield the first potential. It could be a Thunder, it could be a Draco. Either way, I shield it because if they play out the 1 shield scenario, you're gonna get hit by a move anyway, right? Or if they 2 shield, I should say. So my opponent does decide to double shield here, and I'm gonna come in with my Lugia, and they come in with Zacian here. Zacian's actually kind of annoying for this entire line. I'm going to shield the potential close combat, and that's exactly what's going to be. They come in with another close combat, which is fine that I'm getting hit by this overall. I'm going to overfarm here a little bit. But main reason being is I don't think one close combat debuff is enough to knock out pretty much at full health with the Iron Head. And then we do get to this Iron Head here against the Groudon. Lugia is fairly a wall to Groudon, so they do swap out here. They won't hit me with the Draco Meteor, but here's the thing. Lugia is a bulk machine, and you can see it play out here, and Lugia able to close it out here too. Pretty much you save your shields for the Ho, once on for the Dialga. You pretty much never shield the Lugia. Alright, Kyogre lead. Also a really bad lead here in general, but I want to showcase how to win out a lot of these not so great matchups with this team here. And you see them counter swapping with the Zacian, and this is pretty bad overall too. They do no shield the Aeroblast, which is kind of nice for me, but unfortunately I can't really match shields, so I'm not going to. And then they throw another Play Rough. I'm going to throw the Sky Attack here, and we do get a shield here, which is kind of nice, but they get a full Snarl down, which is not ideal. And then I should resist all these moves, so I'm going to just no shield the Play Rough here. And then now they come in with the Kyogre. Now, specifically speaking, close combat Wild Charge, Zacian is by far the roughest for this line. If they're running Play Rough close combat, it's not nearly as bad, especially for that Lugia and Ho completely well set off. But that being said, I am going to shield this potential Surf here, and then throw a Draco. I don't really get to another move anyway, so I might as well just go for the Draco Meteor here. We do get the shield here, and we get to the Brave Bird. Is this enough to knock out? Stab, super effect, neutral. Brave Bird does quite a bit there too. Ho is kind of a monster in general. It hits pretty hard, but also is very tanky too. So definitely one of the strongest Pokemon in Master League in my opinion. It is kind of easy to play around though, so we're going to see how some opponents do it. So I actually throw at improper timing there, mainly because most players will throw a Snarl and then maybe try to swap and catch. So I want to get that move off first. Also on top of that, if you throw that Sacred Fire there, they can't usually get off another Wild Charge at that same time, so you're able to swap in, tank the damage on the Lugia, which is exactly what I do here. and I'm going to build up to a good chunk of energy and then throw the Sky Attack here. Now, this is kind of a tough situation here. There are down shields, but the thing is, they could easily bait me here, and I don't really want to see the Zacian later. So I'm going to tank the Draco Meteor, and again, Ho is an absolute monster. There's not much I could tank a full-on Draco Meteor from Dialga, but Ho is one of the few Pokemon I can. Alright. So they're going to throw a close combat here from the Zacian, and then I am able to get to Iron Head before they get to move, which is huge. Let's see what they have in the back, and unfortunately, it is a Mewtwo. Now, obviously, this is an interesting situation, but if they have Focus Blast, it's going to take me out in one shot, and they did throw the Focus Blast. So not great, but again, Ho able to generate energy really quickly with that Incinerate and get to a Brave Bird to close it out. Alright. This team in particular is particularly annoying. It's kind of a triple non-legendary team. Pretty affordable overall. I mean, you can use it in Premier, Master League Premier as well. But it's very strong in Open Master League too, which is why I knew it was going to be kind of a problem for my team because I knew it existed before I even ran the team. And they pretty much had me hard counter throughout. So we're going to see how close we can make this matchup. Obviously, we can't really shield this, so I'm going to Incinerate down. I'm expecting the Excadrill in the back, which is why I chose not to shield, because I definitely can't go down shields against that thing. Alright, we're going to throw the Brave Bird here. We do get a shield, which is kind of nice. And now we are up a shield here against the Excadrill. So this is kind of an interesting situation. I'm going to no-shield the Drill Run here. And then allow myself to get to the Draco here. Even though I debuff myself, it's not, I guess, the end of the world. I just didn't want to get hit by another Drill Run. And then I need to just double shield here and try to Incinerate down and throw maybe a Brave Bird at this Dragonite. So let's see what happens here. And it looks like Dragonite is going to come in with a move. I believe I do hang on here though. So I'm going to throw Incinerate and then throw the Brave Bird. Do a little bit of chip damage before I debuff myself. Unfortunately, just short. Had I got that damage off, I think I do Incinerate down the Excadrill afterwards. So keeping it really close despite a really hard counter team there. But you know, that's kind of that's about as close as I got. I faced it I think twice and I lost the other time too. The second time was not nearly as close. All right, Giratina Origin form. So kind of an annoying team. Sorry, a lead for my team. You kind of have to swap in Lugia. Lugia's not too bad against it because super effective Dragon Tails and neutral flying moves do add up despite taking super effective from everything they're throwing at you. And so I actually shield this Melmetal. I really want to get one of their shields down here, and I also want to put it in Incinerate range. Unfortunately, my opponent is very smart and chose not to shield. However, I don't think they have enough energy for Rock Slide, so I end up still kind of saving the shield I was probably going to spend on the Ho anyway, but being down shields is really, really tough. So I'm just going to have to assume that they don't actually have close combat, and they don't, which is nice, because had they had it, then I probably just lose. So this is going to be kind of a interesting one. Let's see how this plays out. They throw a Wild Charge, and now I'm going to throw the Iron Head here, and they are debuffed. And then I come in with the Ho-Oh here too. And it looks like they're going to probably hit me with a Wild Charge. And now they come in with the Giratina. We're going to try to optimize here with the Brave Bird. This does quite a bit of damage. I kind of want to throw it almost right away so I don't farm too much. But my opponent actually chooses not to farm me down. Throws the Ominous Wind instead. So that actually gives me a slight opening here. And now, because of that, they're going to quit out. But I was able to definitely get to Iron Head before they get to move. So I think in general, I probably lose that matchup, but due to a slight misplay on my opponent's end, we are able to win that one too. But yeah, overall, Giratina Origin is kind of an annoying lead. Giratina Altered also kind of rough too, especially because a lot of them are running Ancient Power these days. I think Cranberry wants to leave here, so we're going to let this little fluffy one go. But that being said, they do counter swap with Snorlax, and I think Snorlax honestly is pretty good in Premier. I don't think it's nearly as strong in Open Master League, and we're going to see why here too. It's bulky, but it just doesn't hit nearly hard enough. I mean, this thing's not even debuffed, and it doesn't look like it's doing a ton of damage. I'm going to throw the Brave Bird here. Most players are not going to shield in this scenario, so spend your energy on the less expensive move. They actually come in Togekiss here instead of that Giratina, so this puts me in an interesting position here. And now they swap in Giratina trying to snipe me down, but this puts me in a good spot because now we can just Dragon Breath this down and come out with a lot of energy for those Iron Heads. I'm going to shield one of these though, because I don't want to come to a point where they could even Shadow Claw me down. And I'm close to move on the Ho-Oh as well, so I should be in an okay spot. We are going to throw the Iron Head. I don't know if I get to a second one, but let's see. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to just throw their move. I think this is probably Ancient Power, but I unfortunately cannot get some move. And yeah, I did not need to go Sacred Fire. I think I was just going for the flex here, but Brave Bird is plenty, and I still have the shield there too. All right, Mamoswine. This is actually a fun one. This really shows the power of legendaries versus non-legendary Pokemon. We get a little mutual lag there, but I don't think either trainer lost any fast moves. But you can see how much these Incinerates are chewing through, and you know, one shield apiece too. You can already see the Mamoswine is so low. We got the attack drop, so I feel pretty comfortable here. And here's the thing: after you throw 2 Incinerates here, what you want to do is bring in Dialga. Sometimes you can snipe down like that. A lot of times, even if you don't snipe it down, they throw Avalanche, and it's already debuffed at that point. And even if it's neutral, it's not too bad to catch it on your Dialga. Mainly because if they stayed in Mamoswine into Ho there, they're likely pretty weak to Ho in the back, and it looks like they do have that Dialga there, so kind of makes sense. I think I probably come in here with Lugia. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I do come in with the here. They do have a Giratina Origin in the back, so it's not great for me, but I do have a shield remaining, and they go straight for the Shadow Ball, but that's fine. I know Lugia can tank it, and then we'll go for the Air Blast. I just shield here and throw the Air Blast afterward to take it out, because this is the biggest threat to my team, and Dialga still has to get through both of these Pokemon, and they just don't have enough health. All right, Melmetal lead. This is kind of a tricky one. It really depends on how good your opponent is at optimizing their charge move timing. Most trainers at higher elo levels are going to be able to know how to do that, so you have to play kind of smart. Now, what they did there was a sync swap. If you watch my PP pro tips video, you'll see I use that exact example, Melmetal into Ho-Oh, for a sync swap I tried as well, and they executed perfectly there. So that being said, that does put me in a tough position, and they go straight for a Rock Slide. Unfortunately, I'm forced to shield it, but hopefully I could get at least 1 shield back. I really need something to get myself back into this game, and I am going for another. I'm just going straight for the Iron Head, I guess, just because I don't really feel like I don't think I make it, and I just want the chip damage. They actually double shield there though, so that definitely plays in my favor a little bit. I'm definitely a little bit more in a favorable position. I come in Lugia here. I mean, super effective Rock Slide is not great for Lugia, but it's even worse, double super effective for the Ho-Oh, and they do another great catch there. So we are going to charge up a lot of energy here, and I charge to at least 1 Sky Attack because I need it for the Melmetal. They do hit me with the Air Blast here, and I'm going to go straight away for the Sacred Fire. I was going to get hit by Air Blast either way from this Lugia, so I figured not the end of the worlds. We're going to try to Dragon Tail this down, and it looks like, unfortunately, I had to throw the Sky Attack when they're coming in, and oh, okay, so we hang on here. We get the Sky Attack off, but their Lugia just has a little bit more health. So a tough lead there, but we kept it pretty close, all things considered. All right, so Ho-Oh lead. So this is going to be an interesting one. I am going to actually catch the Sacred Fire or potential Brave Bird on my Ho-Oh. This is what I do every time because they almost always build a Sacred Fire before they throw, and you burn a lot of their energy, which is kind of nice. All right, so I'm going to throw the Sky Attack before I get to Air Blast just for some chip damage because I don't think I make it if I try to go for the Air Blast. But they're obviously going to overfarm a little bit because of that. That being said, this is now in a comfortable Dragon Breath range, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to Dragon Breath this thing down. All right, if we get hit by Fusion Bolt, no big deal. It is resisted. It still hurts quite a bit, and they actually have their own Dialga in the back, but we had the Sacred Fire stored from earlier, which is kind of nice. And then now we have to respect the potential Brave Bird here, so I am going to shield. Unfortunately, it is a Sacred Fire. I don't think we got debuff there, though, which is quite nice for me. And then now I can try to Incinerate down here. I do have to shield this one because this is definitely going to take me out, especially with Brave Bird. Even Sacred Fire does quite a bit. But we do have the Sacred Fire here for the Dialga. And then I'm just going to force them to try to throw their harder hitting move here. They end up throwing an Iron Head though. And so unfortunately it's not enough, especially with debuff. And now we're able to get to the Draco Meteor to close it out. I know Master League is super expensive, but these 3 Pokemon are very strong. So even if you don't have the Pokemon to use for this current rotation, hopefully they are Pokemon you can start building towards for the future when you finally have those 3 legendaries maxed out. Thank you all for watching, and best of luck to everyone closing out their season on their climbs. I wish you the best. I do have one more team coming up soon. It is my Catch Cup team, and it's kind of a budget one, but it's been working really well, and I'm up past the 3400s elo with it so far. So stay tuned for that, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch y'all next time.